Your dog doesn't respect you, and here's why.
You're tuning in to Dog Point News.
In order for your dog to respect you, it needs boundaries. If your dog doesn't have boundaries because you never taught it boundaries, it will not respect you. And for those of you who say, but my dog loves me. Yes, a dog can love you but not respect you. And for as long as everything goes his way, your dog is fine with you and licks you and snuggles up with you and all that, that's fine. But the moment you ask your dog to do something that it doesn't want to do, you'll find out how much it does not respect you. Because then when you try to push the dog to do something it doesn't want to do, it starts growling at you, it starts snapping at you, and you wonder, where is that coming from? It is coming from not setting boundaries when the dog is a puppy. Dogs must know when they do something right and when they do something wrong. And if that leadership is not provided, then the dog cannot learn. Or it learns that anything goes, which then does not include you asking for something that it doesn't want to do. When dogs grow up, they push. They push behavior. And they push behavior expecting a pushback. And if that pushback doesn't come, they lose all respect. That doesn't mean you have to beat your dog. It doesn't mean you have to be harsh with your dog. But you have to let your dog know when it does something that is unacceptable. Like biting your fingers and toes, for instance. When puppies grow up and they bite the mother's leg too hard, she bites back. There is a consequence to that. So the puppy learns that this is unacceptable. So there is a boundary set. The mother pushed back. And so the puppy has a chance to learn not to do this. But as humans, we love our dogs, especially when they're puppies and they're also cute. Yes, they are. But it doesn't mean that they cannot learn boundaries, that you cannot tell them, no, don't do this. Don't do that. So that the dog can grow up in a framework in which to live. And once you provide that, they actually love you even more. Sean O'Shea, another trainer, talks about this and calls it the affection cheat code, where dogs that get the boundaries and get the rules, and these rules are being enforced, actually love you so much more as a result. Even though people believe, well, if I correct my dog for something, then the dog is going to love me less because I'm correcting it. And the opposite is true. So don't be afraid to set boundaries for your dogs. The worst that can happen is that your dog actually respects you. There is no downside to it. A correction could be saying no. It could be spatial pressure by just putting yourself between the dog and an object or another person. It could be a tug on the leash so that the dog is not growling and snarling at your visitors or barking at them. Those are boundaries. And if you teach your dog these boundaries and teach your dog how to coexist in the human world, in your household as a dog, and still be allowed to be a dog, that is the happy dog. A dog that gets those boundaries is the happy dog. A dog that does not get those boundaries is lost and has to figure out everything by themselves without guidance, and oftentimes they act out because they don't know what to do. And then you get a whole host of problem behaviors that you can avoid. So have your dog respect you, set boundaries, insist on them, and you will be fine. No drive, no joy.